At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country on the air until 3 Eastern. Hanging out with you at 310-840-4910. That's the call and text line. You can hang out with us today. Abdalla, today is the day. Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Here we go. This is going to be must-see television tonight. Thunder Spurs. Thunder up in the series 3-2. This is going to be fantastic. Can't wait to watch this tonight. And we'll see if Wemby and the Spurs can respond at home after falling on Tuesday night, giving the edge of the series to the Thunder. And obviously, Oklahoma City, you're one win away from getting back to the finals in back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, and I think it should be a great game, obviously. Back at home for San Antonio, their backs against the wall. This is when Wemby has been at his best. This is when, these are the games that you need to show up for if you are going to be a superstar in this league, which is what he wants to be, right? He's not there yet. We all assume this is what he is going to be. We all assume that Victor Wembanyama...
You don't think he's a superstar yet? He's not yet a superstar? He's a superstar.
I'm saying this is what he wants to be. I'm saying that he's probably the best player in the NBA, but he hasn't accomplished anything yet. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. Has he won an MVP? No. Has he won a championship? No. He hasn't even won a conference finals yet. So until he does that, all he is Defensive Player of the Year. So if he wants to do that, he's got to get his team somewhere. And until he does that, he hasn't done anything yet. And this is where you prove your worth. At home, you carry your team as the best player on the court, and you put your team, like in game 1 of this series, you wanted to prove something. And at the end of that game, to the media, you made it a point to tell everyone that when you were watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander get his MVP trophy, it meant something to you, okay? So tonight, prove it again. Don't just stand there and go 4 of 15 from the field, all right? Prove something.
Yes.
And make this game into a classic and get your team to a game 7 and then get your team to an NBA Finals, because that's what superstars do.
I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I don't want to ruin a super serious sports opinion there that you're bringing to the table. It's hot. I like it.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm laughing at. I appreciate the fire to get the show started.
Yeah.
I can't get out of my head what you just said and what I'm thinking. What is SGA's name?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? What did I say?
Say Gilgeous-Alexander?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What did I say?
I think I heard Shane Gillis-Alexander, and all I can picture is the comedian
Is that what you
Shane
heard?
Gillis flopping all over the ground, trying to play basketball, laying on the floor. Kind of like he's George Costanza in just his underwear, like laying on the ground, like out of shape.
He's talking about
right?
Chet Holmgren making grilled cheese at night.
Yeah, right. Like, that's all I could picture is Shane Gillis-Alexander flopping around on the floor.
That's funny.
But yes, you had a very great, poignant opinion there on the Thunder and the Spurs. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
it's
no.
Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports.
And that's what I think that Wemby needs to do. That's what Wembanyama needs to do tonight, is that prove that you are this superstar. Everybody believes that at a certain point, whether it's next year or the year after, or at a certain point, that Victor Wembanyama is going to be not only the face of the NBA, but the best player in the MVP. And I believe he'll win at the same time Defensive Player and MVP in the same year.
Yeah.
And we've seen it before. So tonight is a game where you prove that. You're at home. The home crowd is going to be behind you. You should get the home whistle as well. So tonight's a night where you had an off night. Everybody is questioning, why did he have an off night? What's going on with this every other night? He's having these off nights and then an on night and then an off night and then an on night. And so tonight, it would say he would have an on night, he would have a great game, and that we would see a game 7 in this series in the Western Conference Finals, and that whatever happens, happens, and whoever ends up going to the finals and faces the Knicks in the NBA Finals. But what we've seen so far in this series is that Victor Wembanyama will show up in tonight's game and give us a good performance in tonight's game.
Yeah, to answer that question, why has he played like that? I would look to Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, he has played great basketball defensively, bodying and affecting Wembanyama. And the key to, if we go back to Game 5, Wemby was outside of the paint. He was not making an impact offensively near the basket. And the more that the Thunder can push Wemby out near the three-point line and make him just stay out there, and there's different reasons to why that happens, right? One, it's the Thunder defense. Two, I think the Spurs take shots too quickly in their sets, which don't allow Wemby to work his way down to the block or in the paint. So whatever that is, whether it's an adjustment from the Spurs or the idea that Wembanyama just needs to be tougher and work his way near to the basket, that's where the success will happen. And quite honestly, I think the major difference in this series is Hartenstein and Caruso. That's it. Those two players for the Thunder and their defense and their ability, especially with Caruso, to shoot from the three-point line, unlike that we've seen throughout the regular season. You know, in Game 5, Caruso goes 4 for 8 from 3. That's 50%. He was a 29% three-point shooter in the regular season. So, and you mentioned Game 1 and how this series started up. Game 1, what happened? Wemby was guarding Caruso and letting him shoot from 3. Caruso wasn't making shots, and guess what? There goes the Spurs on the other end, getting buckets and playing good defense, and everything clicked. Everything made sense. And it does also feel in this series, teams who have, for the most part, gotten out quick and played fast in the first quarter, those are the teams that have gone on to win these games. So you're right. I would imagine tonight it's going to be a much better effort early. Wembanyama, it's now time to step up to the plate. You are the face of the league. I talked about yesterday here on the show that it is very obvious to me that the league is getting what they want, and that what they want is that Wembanyama is the draw. He is the marquee player that the NBA, the television partners, are riding on. They are hoping that Wembanyama can take the mantle that LeBron is about to give up and that Steph Curry carried for quite some time, and that group of old head NBA stars who are Hall of Famers, who had their title runs, and they are now past the apex of their career. There needs to be someone new to take over that for a national attention side of things for the NBA. That player is Wembanyama. And I think that's where we get a game like tonight. Your back's against the wall. You're at home. Game 6. You're coming off of a poor performance. Does Wembanyama show up tonight and play well? I think he will, because each and every time that he's faced adversity, he's come back and he's played well. But I think it's notable in what you brought up. He wanted to tell everyone that he was not happy with the decision for MVP. And he showed out in Game 1 to prove something. And the Thunder responded. And this series has gone back and forth. And I think that's why tonight is going to be such a game that everyone's going to pay attention to. It's on NBC, 8:30 tip Eastern, and it should be a great game. And I'm expecting the Spurs to win tonight and to force it to a Game 7 later, which is on Saturday night.
It was weird in Game 5. You know, he goes 12 for 12 from the free throw line. He goes 0 for 5 from 3, and he only shoots, he only puts up 15 shots from field goal range. And like the other games, I mean, obviously the double overtime game, it's weird because you go 2 overtimes. He has to shoot more, so he shot 25 times. But the other games, he shot 22 times. It just seemed like he was less aggressive in Game 5. And he was just kind of standing around. And I don't know.
They kept him out of the paint.
But I don't know if that's Hartenstein. I don't know if that's Caruso. I don't know what that is, if they've made adjustments, because in the Game 4 win, I don't think that they were doing anything. I don't think that the Thunder were doing anything different. And Wemby got his shots, and he went 11 to 22. He shot 50% from the field, and he was, he made three-pointers, and he played well. And he had a great game. He scored 33 points. And then the Thunder adjusted or did something, and I don't think they did anything different with Hartenstein and with Caruso. It just seemed like Wembanyama has been picking and choosing his spots, and for some reason in Game 5, he was less aggressive. He was standing around more. I don't know what it is. I can't figure out why he was less aggressive in Game 5 than he was in Game 4. I don't know if he just wasn't getting the shot selection he was going with, or they couldn't get him the ball as much, or what it was, but for some reason he wasn't going to the basket as much. He was, for someone that is as big and can go to the basket as much as he can, he just wasn't as much. I mean, he did go to the free throw line 12 times, so he was doing something right. But they needed him, obviously, to do that more, and he just wasn't for some reason.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Okay, so there's something I want to talk about, which here's the thing. When we have opinions on sports, I am not giving you an opinion hoping that there's a reaction from people listening or just other sports fans, right? Like, my opinion is not coming out based on hoping for a reaction. It's how I feel about sports, and it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I have opinions, and then we get the feedback from our great listeners, and it's like, all right, maybe I was a little off on that. All right, maybe I should reconsider. That has happened in the past. And months ago, I had the opinion about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, not Shane Gillis-Alexander, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And my opinion was he's unwatchable. The flopping, the flailing, the foul baiting. Yeah, he might win MVP, but this ain't it. And I thought to myself at that time, all right, maybe I was a little out in front of this. Like, maybe I was, maybe I'm thinking too much about this, right? And what has happened since is it seems to me as if not only were we ahead of the curve on this, but it seems as if the only thing people talk about with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is his flopping.
Careful now.
His foul baiting.
Careful now.
And the way he plays. Am I wrong? It does seem like now, whenever anyone is talking about the league and SGA is brought up, the only thing people talk about is him laying on the ground, flopping around like a fish out of water. That's it.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
No.
Like it does feel like that is the conversation about him now.
Not wrong.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen the latest story with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, and Underdog Sports?
Oh, I have.
Okay, so The Athletic has the story. So let's take a step back. Earlier in the week, or like over the weekend, Underdog Sports released a promotional video of Dylan Brooks playing a game of Operation, but it was mocked to be of SGA. And every time he played, when you're playing the game and you hit a part of the body, it's a foul.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, right, we all have played the game Operation before.
Yeah.
But it was a promotional thing for Underdog Sports. Like, it's not a real game that exists, right? They are doing a promo, and they said that they're going to make 100 of them and then give them away, and it's a joke.
Yes.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Foul baiting. It's a promotional joke about SGA, the foul baiter. Foul baiter.
Easy.
And SGA's people have sent a cease and desist letter to Underdog Sports for all of SGA's name, image, and likeness. So that means they can't even tweet out SGA scored 32 points in Game 5 because they have added a cease and desist on all name, image, and likeness in reference to any aspect of their website.
Yep.
You want to talk about a soft player?
Careful.
Holy cow. This can't be real, right?
It is real.
He's that bothered that the only thing people talk about with SGA is the fact that he flops around on the floor. Mm-hmm. We had the numbers from Tom Haberstroh earlier this week. There is no one in the NBA who falls to the ground more than SGA. Foul or no foul. Falling to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he is obviously aware of it. He doesn't like it. Sir, stand on your feet.
So,
right?
I had to do...
How soft is this that you're sending a cease and desist to Underdog Sports because they created a joke promo game of you laying on the ground of Operation?
In the last 4 seasons, including the playoffs, he's attempted 391 more free throws than the next closest players. And I found this, and I had to make sure it was real. Because, it's the internet.
Yeah.
You never know. Underdog Sports. Like, I know I saw the tweet earlier in the week or over the weekend of the game and the operation.
They
and like
created a website
Raj sent it to us, and it was like, this is
Unethical
funny.
Hoops.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is funny. And then you see the cease and desist, and you're like, there's no way someone's lawyers or the player would have authorized this.
The website, Unethical Hoops. How great is that?
Come on, dude. In the middle of the playoffs, in the middle of the Western Conference Finals, you're going to give. Okay, I'll tell you this. I know you want to win tonight, and I know that you want to win and move on in the Western Conference Finals, but the fact that you just gave New York Knicks fans this fodder, this cannon fodder for them to use.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
are you kidding me?
What are you doing? They are going to eat you alive. Like, they are still chanting F. Trae Young. And, like, for what? For what? Like, this is the softest thing I can think of from a player in recent memory. To send out a cease and desist over a fake game. Like, it's not even like you've got Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves in his shoe commercials from the company made commercials taking shots at other players in the ads. And like the other players didn't send out cease and desists.
It is the softest look possible
and
for a professional athlete.
A fake game where, like, look, Underdog Sports has some followers, but like this didn't go viral, and like this didn't do like anything, like this didn't get any traction or anything. It's not like this was shown on Inside the NBA or anything like that. This was just passed around. Like, it's not real.
Mattel is not making the game.
No.
Mattel is not actively making this game.
No,
it's not real. It's a joke.
It's not like people are going to show up in the Spurs. Well, they should now. To Spurs games tonight with this printed out on a poster board at the game. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do in San Antonio tonight.
So SGA's attorneys want all promotion of the game to stop. It's not a real game. They want it to stop. Underdog Sports tells Front Office Sports it will not, which is great. I love it. Push back. Yeah.
Wait,
what you're going to sue us over Flopopotamus there?
Come
I mean, my
on.
God. I've never, and that's why I started this conversation by saying, like, yeah, 2 months ago, okay, I noticed something when I was watching the Thunder. It was mildly annoying to me. I said it on the show, and I thought to myself, all right, maybe I'm a little hard,
soft,
a little aggressive on my opinion there. And then as time has gone on, everyone else has the same opinion about SGA. I'm not saying that I'm special for it. I'm just saying I'm surprised that this is the national conversation with a player who's won 2 MVPs in back-to-back seasons and has a chance to go back-to-back as champions.
Soft.
Like, when have we ever seen something like that in sports where the consensus outside of Oklahoma City and Oklahoma state limits, nobody likes this player? Is that a wrong assumption?
I mean,
who's walking around being like, that's my dude, that's my number one guy. He's the best player in the league. That's my guy.
As much as people
everyone just makes fun of him.
As much as people don't like LeBron has never done anything this soft.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
LeBron has never come out and been like, guys, stop making fun of me.
Stop making fun of the decision. Guys, stop doing that. Stop making fun of my checkered shirt when I decided to go to South Beach. Stop it, guys.
Stop making fun
of me. I mean, this is just insane. You can text the show 310-840-4910. I'm at a loss. I can't believe that that's real, that they sent a cease and desist to Underdog Sports.
I'm hoping they did it without his consent because there's no way.
Oh, you know he'll save face and say that it's his team. Everyone's got a team, and his team's they're the ones that did it. The 734, Mike in Detroit, says he agrees that the league wants the face for basketball. That's Wemby. But the league is much better when there's faces and rivals.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. And I think that's why people are into this series, Thunder Spurs. It seems like these two teams don't like each other, and that's great. I love that. It's fantastic. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Stop making fun of me. Come on, guys. Lamar Jackson was at OTAs yesterday for the Ravens. What he said was it's surprising. We'll tell you about it coming up next.
Less than 6 months after knee surgery, Patrick Mahomes is already back throwing at OTAs. But will the three-time Super Bowl MVP be fully ready for the Chiefs opener against Denver? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Big story in the NFL offseason. Lamar Jackson, his happiness with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens go out. They get a new head coach, Jesse Minter, defensive-minded head coach, takes over for the Ravens. And so some of the conversations like, okay, so Lamar Jackson's ready to take the next step to try and win a Super Bowl. But you go out and as a franchise, you hire a head coach who's not a offensive-minded guy. He's a defensive-minded head coach. How will Lamar Jackson react to this? So far here in the offseason, the OTAs taking place this week, and Lamar Jackson spoke to the media yesterday. This is what he had to say about the new coaches with the Ravens and with Lamar Jackson.
New coach, new OC, different new guys in positions. So everything is just new, basically, besides upstairs, you know. But coaching staff is just new, and I can say it's a breath of fresh air because everything is just new. That's all. So
there you go. Lamar Jackson, breath of fresh air because it's new. There you go. Surprising. Maybe he's happy. He's ready to go.
I mean, he might be. Well, I mean, he's at OTAs, which is new for him. You know, it's new coach smell, right? You got that new coach smell. Everything is different until it's not. He's actually at OTAs, which is different for him. He's not being fined, so he's got a little extra money in his pocket, which he's not used to, which is good for him. And look, you've got a new offensive coordinator there too, so ideally you've got some different concepts there that are going to highlight what Lamar Jackson is capable of. They're clearly one of the favorites to win the AFC. You believe they're the best team in the AFC. I still think the Bills are the best team in the AFC. They're going to be right in contention to win a Super Bowl this year. And you have to, if you're him, you have to buy in. And right now, one of the big topics of conversation around the Ravens is his contract extension. Yeah. And so for him right now, it has to be buy-in right now because he wants that big money deal. He wants that huge contract extension.
Well, you also have a quarterback that you mentioned new OC. It's Declan Doyle. He's an offensive coordinator who's never called plays. Mm-hmm. So it's a new offense with a new offensive coordinator who's never been in that spot before. And you have a defensive-minded head coach. You mentioned the contract situation. Lamar Jackson also spoke about that yesterday, his future contract.
I was thinking about how I was going to respond to this question if I got it. But, I'm going to give you the same answer I always give. I just want to keep those conversations private, We restructured the deal, and that's what we have right now. So,
is there a chance that you could play out this season and just bet on yourself and not sign a contract?
We got the reconstruction done. Like I said, Jerry, we just going to go from there.
Do you feel, though, because it's now 20-some months until you could possibly be a free agent.
Jameson, you're trying to ask the question differently than Jerry just asked me.
I am, yes.
Yeah, that's smooth, but I'm going to give you the same answer.
No, I have a little different question.
All right, go ahead.
Do you still envision yourself long-term here with the Ravens?
Absolutely. I love the Ravens. I love this organization. I love the city. Just the team that drafted me, got a lot of love for me. And I believe, I got a lot of love for the city and this team as well. So, like I told you, the reconstruction is done. Cool with that, but I love Baltimore. Everybody should know that by now.
All right, so there you go. Lamar Jackson. He's not going to say anything. He loves the city, loves the franchise, does not have a new deal for the future. Current deal restructured. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Seems very non-committal while trying to be someone committing to his current situation.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't listen to that from Lamar Jackson and think to myself, oh, he's out. I just don't think he has the contract that he was hoping to get at this point, and that's where he's at.
I mean, there is the potential out after this season, but technically he does have a contract through next season. So this isn't like the end of this deal. Like, obviously, you don't want him going into next season on the final year of his deal. So you want to restructure it. There is something that you want to do so you can create more cap space, so you can take care of other guys. It is a huge cap hit next year. Yeah, it's $84 million. That's a gigantic cap hit for the Ravens. And ideally, you restructure that. You extend him. You spread that over a few more years of Lamar Jackson. And ideally, you get that done, because we remember what happened when he went into the contract negotiations last time. And they said, sure, go out, test the market, see how that works for you. And what happened? It didn't work out for him. Nobody gave him the fully guaranteed contract that he was looking for, and he ended up re-signing with the Ravens.
Yes.
And then now we're into this whole thing. So there's no pressure on Lamar Jackson to get a deal done right now, because he's got a contract for next season. The financial security for him is there. If for some reason Lamar Jackson gets hurt during this season, the financial security for him is there. This is all on the Ravens to get a deal done, to get a restructure done, to avoid the gigantic cap hit next season. And you can let this play out and not do anything this season, because you have the entire offseason to get something done. So you can have these conversations, and Lamar Jackson is right to answer these questions these ways. Like, this isn't a big deal right now, because you have the whole season. You can even not do it this season. You have all off season, because there's still all of 2027. There's the whole offseason next year. There's still next year to get this done, because he's still under contract for next year.
No, I know he is. Isn't the concern that because of the fact that he's representing himself, like he doesn't have an agent, and that the way that this is kind of gone, isn't the concern that he may pull a move that we are used to seeing in the NBA with superstars? That if he's disgruntled by any means, he'll just demand a trade and force his way out?
He could. I think also the concern...
Like, isn't that the concern that, like, heading into this offseason and what's on the horizon is that he is unwilling to negotiate the way that the team would prefer.
Sure.
And because of that, he might force something. And, yeah, he just said to the media that he loves being there. He loves the franchise. But to me, that's always my read on what the concern over it would be.
I think also the concern is, and you heard one of the reporters ask, are you going to bet on yourself? Well, the last time the Ravens had a quarterback bet on themselves, Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl. And then he hamstrung the organization for the next 5 years. So, like, if you do that and the Ravens do go out and they win the Super Bowl this year, and you have to give Lamar Jackson he's the next guy to go 65, 70 million a year, and then he hamstrings your organization for the next 5 years. That's the problem. That's where the Ravens are looking at this and saying, hey, maybe we do need to get something done this offseason before we go out and potentially win the Super Bowl this year. Because if that is the case, we don't want to be the ones to reset the quarterback market with Lamar Jackson and give him some ungodly deal to reset the market, because he did bet on himself and doesn't have the representation and does go out and win the Super Bowl. And then he demands $75 million a year because he wants more money than Dak Prescott per year, because he's the highest paid quarterback at 60 some odd million a year, and wants that money and wants to reset the market. That's the concern for the Ravens, because they are projected to be one of the best, if not the best team in the AFC right now.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about betting on himself, he's already won the MVP twice. Right now in DraftKings, MVP odds for this upcoming NFL season, Lamar Jackson is second in the odds at plus 650. The only player ahead of Lamar Jackson is Josh Allen at plus 550. Mahomes is third, tied with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Drake May follows those three players at plus 1,100. Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Jane Daniels, and Brock Purdy. So that's your list of quarterbacks at the top of the MVP odds at this moment.
All AFC guys at the top there.
Yeah, I mean, but I think when we look at the two conferences, the better teams are in the NFC. The better quarterbacks are all in the AFC.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we mentioned, and you said that I think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC. You think Buffalo, those are the two top teams. Those are the two top quarterbacks. And in the MVP odds, those are the two top guys.
Yeah, and I think that, I think it should play out that way. I mean, you look at the additions that Baltimore made, and you look at what, the Buffalo has added and adding a wide receiver in DJ Moore for Josh Allen, and both having it's weird too, because both bringing in new coaching staffs as well, thinking that they're both going to be back in the AFC, or, at least getting close to and getting into an AFC championship game and getting to that mountaintop and getting to a Super Bowl with new coaching staffs, and getting there would be something with new coaching staffs and getting with the quarterbacks there. And the threat there for the Ravens, if Lamar is betting on himself, not going into next year with a new deal would be a problem for the Ravens.
You can text the show at 310-840-4910. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. We were talking earlier about how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's lawyers are issuing a cease and desist letter to Underdog Sports. They put out there a promotional fake game where it's Operation, and every time it's Operation and it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's on the ground, and every time you touch a body part, it goes off, right? So, it's funny.
Yeah.
They created a version of the board game Operation. The buzzer goes off anytime you foul Gilgeous-Alexander or when you touch him. It's called Unethical Hoops. And they've been promoting it on social media. They've made 100 versions of these, and they're going to raffle them off. It's funny.
Yeah.
SGA's crew does not find it funny. A text from the 541 reads, NBA, National Baby Association. Oof. Come on, SGA. Put the binky down.
Wow.
It bothers him because he knows it's true. That's an all-time text. That's a good text.
That's great.
That's a great text message. Yes.
A quick perusal of Underdog NBA. They have not deleted any tweets involving SGA. His name, his image, and his likeness is all over. In fact, if I were them, and I'm not running Underdog.
No.
I'm not running Underdog Sports, so don't C&D me. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would change my avatar to the little dog with the cape, but the little dog face would be SGA. The face on the dog would be SGA. If I were Underdog.
If you were doing it.
If I were Underdog. But I'm not. I'm but Adam Abdalla. So
it's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Now, you said SGA's name slowly there.
Yeah, I did.
Because earlier in the show, I think you called him Shane Gilgeous-Alexander.
No, I said Shai Gillis. I said Shai. I didn't say Shane. It sounded
like you said Shane Gillis.
I didn't say Shane. I said Shai. I said Shai Gillis.
At which point, I couldn't keep a straight face.
I think I've messed you up for the whole show, because every time you've said it, you've slowed down too now.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, but every time you've said it in a sentence, you've kind of...
Well, now I'm picturing Shane Gillis driving to the hoop, laying on the floor. If you go to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show, I believe Raj has been working hard on some AI slop.
I think Claude has. I don't know if
he's come up with what Shane Gillis would look like in a Thunder uniform on the ground. Jeez.
God, I think doesn't look right. I think Shane's let himself go a little bit, even for him.
That doesn't look right.
Is he wearing Allbirds?
While playing in the NBA playoffs, yes. What's wrong with his face?
What's wrong with his face? That's a bad face, for him.
So Raj has posted
I'm a one-shot
that on
AI
YouTube.
slop, guys. I don't ask it to revise or tweak. What you put in the AI slot machine, one shot. One shot.
Are they already facing the Knicks?
It looks like it.
Wow.
It looks like the Knicks and the Golden State Warriors are playing, even though Shane Gillis is laying on the floor. in
By the
our
way,
AI slop. Yes,
because I
That's
at least
great.
find this funny. These were the instructions I gave it. Hi, co-pilot. I need you to put comedian Shea Gillis in an Oklahoma City Thunder uniform flopping like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Those were the instructions, and that's what we got.
I like how you say hi to. You're so polite to the AI.
you don't say hi to it.
Because when
polite.
Terminator goes down, they're going to remember I was nice.
It's coming
Did
for
you
you
say
first.
thank you to it after you?
I
after
did.
it spit out the
Yes,
image?
I
No, you're
did.
you're not
Raj.
supposed to say thank
You're
you.
burning
No, you are.
trees
You are.
doing
Because
that.
when Robert Patrick is the T-1000 and he's coming after me,
It's
he'll remember I
unreal.
was nice
Unreal.
to him.
Unreal. The amount of fossil fuels we're burning because Raj is saying please and thank you
A
to the
small
chat
pond
bots.
was just drained because you said thank you to the AI.
So you can see the picture up on our YouTube live stream, Bleck and Abdalla show. Make sure you like and
When
subscribe.
you guys are
to the
hiding
channel.
behind John
There
Connor,
it
just
is.
remember, you could have just
Yes.
said thank you and please,
Yeah,
and you'd have been all right.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Raj. We appreciate it. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Adam Silver got a chance to talk to ESPN yesterday, and he talked about the issue of flopping, also tanking in the NBA. We hear from Adam Silver coming up next.
The Vegas Golden Knights are in the Stanley Cup Final for the third time in their 9-year history. Will it be Carolina or Montreal that stands between a return to Sin City for Lord Stanley's Cup? Westwood One Sports. and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
So the NBA playoffs are taking place. I just saw a note from NBA PR stating that the game on Sunday, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, was the most watched Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals since 1999. So, we continue to see these numbers. Spurs, Thunder, we knew all season long in the NBA that those are the two best teams. They were two teams that have won 60-plus games facing off in the playoffs. The first time we've had that since the 90s when the Jordan Bulls took on the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals. So it's been quite some time before we've seen two teams that everyone knows are the two best teams facing off in a playoff series, and the audience is responding. People are watching. People are following. Yet, a lot of the conversation with the NBA is negative, right? It's tanking. It's load management. It's flopping. It's all the different things that have taken place in this season that are not basketball on the court. Adam Silver yesterday had a chance to talk with ESPN, and he mentioned that tanking is the top issue for NBA fans.
We have to fix incentives so teams aren't out there with an incentive to be bad. It's the number one issue for our fans right now. Nobody wants to see that. It completely obviously goes away once we get to the playoffs, but we just got to fix that problem.
So that was Adam Silver yesterday on ESPN television. And, okay, yeah, I agree. I do think tanking is the top issue for most NBA fans because it affects the most. When you have a third of the league all not trying, that's a problem with your product on a night-to-night basis.
I mean,
it just is.
I still think it's load management because yes, but at least if I know my team is going to be bad, like I can still take my kids to a game and like my kids don't care who's going to be out there. They just want to go see a basketball game. Whereas like if I'm going to a game and I want to see the Lakers and Luka's just going to sit out and I don't know that, I'm going to be pissed if I walk in and he's just sitting out for load management. Like, that's the difference. And if I go see another team and a superstar is going to sit out for load management, I'm going to be pissed because he's sitting out for load management. If I know a team is going to be bad, then, okay, that team, as long as the team is trying to be bad and there's light at the end of the tunnel, like you're trying to rebuild and you're trying to build a team the way the Thunder were rebuilt and the way, the Spurs got Wemby and like there's hope and that you can build on hope. There's something for fans to rally behind. Load management is something that you can't predict and night in and night out. And it's so expensive to go to games and to have all these different streaming services to watch games. And if I tune in and I spend the money to watch these games and the stars aren't playing, what's the point?
Well, it's not to say that load management is not a problem. I understand your concern. I just don't know if the concern of showing up from night to night because little Johnny wants to see Luka play is as big of a problem of thousands of little Johnnies not even paying attention to their local team because their local team isn't trying to win at all. That, to me, is a much larger scale issue. Both issues, they're both problems. Ideally, you would have your stars playing in all the games so every little Johnny that goes to a game gets to see his star, right? Like that, ideally, that would be the way to do it. I don't think it's ideal for the NBA to have 12 to 13 teams actively not try to win games at the end of a season, which totally dissipates any interest to the final month and a half of the regular season. So there are people in those arenas where the teams are bad, where, yeah, they would prefer to see the stars, but some of those teams don't have stars. Some of those teams aren't good enough to even have anyone that's a draw that you would want to see or hope. Like some teams weren't even like, as a Chicago Bulls fan, the Bulls didn't have anyone good enough that I would be pissed that they were load managing. Who am I? Well, I'm going to be upset that Josh Giddey isn't in the lineup? Please.
No, but the Bulls, but
the problem with the Bulls is that they weren't trying. The problem with other teams is that they're not trying. That's the large problem in the NBA.
You might say that, but Adam Silver will say Okay, but the Bulls lead the league in attendance every year, so they clearly don't have a problem if they're not trying. Like, the Bulls are an exception to the rule because they lead their top 2, 3 in attendance every single year. So Bulls fans don't care that they don't try.
You get the point.
I do.
The point was, if you're in New Orleans, your team's not trying. That might be a bad example. I think they're just poorly ran.
Yeah.
But if you look at Utah was actively not trying to win games.
Yeah.
So that to me is a much larger problem than having teams resting stars because they are hoping that the star is ready to play in the playoffs. That would tell me that those teams are trying to win on a larger scale.
Yeah, but if they end up with Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa or someone like that, and they end up changing their franchise, it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. And then you get butts and seats, and you get people watching, and it was 100% worth it for them.
You could argue that. No doubt.
I am arguing that.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely
but
arguing that.
You are also looking at it like that's a final answer. You're right in that conversation. I don't subscribe to that. For every team that tanks or actively tries to lose, you don't get a net result of guaranteed success on the other end.
No, I get that, but I think that it's a bigger problem that you have superstars.
You could argue that there is a guarantee with load management that the teams that were able to successfully do that could move farther in the playoffs. Again, there's no guarantees, but I don't think it's a surprise. The Spurs limited Wemby's minutes, and he was healthy to go in the playoffs.
Well, he also can't perform in games back-to-backs.
Well, that's not true. They haven't played any back-to-backs in the postseason.
Every other game, he doesn't play well.
All right. Give me the full list. When we come back, I want to see every game. And I want to see
every other game in the Western Conference Finals, he hasn't played well.
We're going to also update A.J. Brown and the Eagles. That situation next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern, talking sports. If you want to join the show, you can call us at 310-840-4910. That's the call and text line as we get set tonight. Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Thunder and Spurs. The Thunder lead the series 3-2. The Spurs, their backs are up against the wall, and we're looking to see if Wembanyama can respond after the poor outing in Game 5 for the San Antonio Spurs. About 5 minutes ago, Abdalla mentioned that Wemby cannot play back-to-back games well. Is that the research project that we are conducting here during the commercial break?
Yeah, listen, Chris.
What do you have here?
Sometimes great thinkers are often mocked. Galileo, Socrates, Christopher Columbus was told that the world was flat, and then now we live in America. So I'm just telling you that when the playoffs started...
Is that how that worked?
Game 1, he put up 35 points against Portland. The next game, he had 5 points, and they lost. The next game, they won. He had 27. Then they won the next game after that, but he only had 17 points. Hold on a second. No. Let me finish.
Okay.
Then game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals when he had 39 points. Then game 5, he only showed up and had 4 points. He shot the ball 5 times. Remember, he was ejected though, so that's fine.
Oh, we're counting that one?
They lost that game, though, because he probably left because he was tired.
You're not going to bring up the fact that he left with a concussion against the Blazers in the game where he scored 5?
If you remember the game where they went to double overtime and he had 41 points, the next game he only scored 21 points. He only scored 21 points. Okay?
That was a bad game?
That's a bad game. They lost that game.
You're not looking at the 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 blocks.
No, he only scored 21 points. They lost that game. They needed him to go. They needed him to go to the free throw line more. He only got to the line 2 times.
He's only a scorer.
That's not being efficient.
He's a scoring player only, huh?
They lost that game.
Got it.
Did they lose that game?
I didn't say they didn't.
The next night he put up 26 points.
Bad game.
They lost that game.
Bad game.
They lost that game. Okay. When he put up 33 points in the win.
What is your metric for playing well?
Scoring points.
Scoring points and winning game.
Getting to the free throw line.
Scoring point, winning game.
Getting to the free throw line. And then game
the hell are we doing?
Game 5, he's standing around with his hands on his knees. He only scored 20 points. He only put up 15 shots. What are we doing here? The dude gets tired. That's what he's doing. He's standing around.
Sure.
I'm watching on TV the Wemby paradox. Why is he standing around? I'm watching analysts on TV explain to me, why is he standing around in Game 5, not moving with the offense? Why is he standing around and not moving with the offense like he did in Game 4? When he scored 33 points? When they won that game. The explanation is simple. Sometimes the explanation is simple.
Is it?
What goes up must come down.
Sure.
The explanation is easy, Chris. Like I said, thought leaders are often mocked.
Yeah, well.
Wemby is tired.
You're certainly loud. That's for sure.
The reason he didn't win MVP is because he didn't play enough minutes in the regular season.
Just a couple of fact-checking moments on your rant here.
And the reason they lost at home in Game 4 is because he was tired.
Okay.
The reason they lost Tuesday night, because he's tired. The reason they can't win in these games that they're playing every other night is because he's tired.
Okay.
And they'll win tonight because he's not tired anymore. And when they lose...
and what's the difference there?
Because
same rest between those games.
It's the same rest, but he's not moving as much. You're seeing it. You're seeing it in real time. He's standing with his hands.
This?
He's standing around. They're showing the video. They're showing the clips of it. He's standing around doing nothing in these games.
But you said he was tired. You say he's not going to be tired tonight, but it's the same rest.
But he's standing around doing nothing in Game 5. He's just standing there letting the offense do nothing.
How is this a show?
I'm just telling you. Are you watching the same game I am?
Can I fact check a couple of your items there?
Go ahead.
First of all, you said he had a bad game against Portland, the second game of that series. First round. He left the game after 12 minutes with a concussion. He smacked his head on the floor.
All right. Well, he was tired.
You said it's 5 points, bad game.
Bad game.
Okay.
He left.
All right. So that's one.
Well, he was tired. He went to go take a nap.
You also gave the metric that you are counting good games based on points.
Yes.
And shot attempts.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an MVP.
Okay. All right. He doesn't do anything else, right?
He's supposed to be an MVP, dude. You're supposed to score points.
So
his coach, what did his coach say? What did his coach say? What did his coach say after the game? What did his coach say after the game in Game 5? We need him to score more than 20 points. So it's not just me.
Okay.
It's the head coach of the Spurs said we need him to score more than 20 points. The head coach of the team said we need him to score more than 20 points in a game in order to win. So maybe he should listen to his head coach and thought leader Adam Abdalla.
Okay.
Maybe he should. Maybe he should listen to me and his head coach. I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't know.
Your metric is points, shot attempts.
Oh, it's not just me and it's me and his head coach. Get it right.
And wins.
It's me and his head coach.
Well, I'm talking to you.
It's me and his head coach, though.
Okay. So you said points, shot attempts, and wins.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, it's the playoffs.
By your...
I'm not head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers here who's doing metrics based on projected wins and projected points.
Okay. By your metrics, Game 2 of the semifinals against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I know he left because he did the elbow.
That was a different game.
Oh, yeah, Game 4.
Sure. Why not? Game 2, they won 133-95. By your metric, good game.
Good game.
Although you're going to tell me that it was a bad game because he only had 19 points. But then you were also saying in a different part of your rambling rant there that it's the shot attempts. He had 15 shot attempts. So I'm not. Which is it?
I didn't say that was a good. I didn't say it was a good game. 15
rebounds. They won the game.
I didn't say it was a good game. I said
you said it was a bad one.
I just said it was a bad. They didn't need him to have a good game.
That was a bad one, but they didn't need it.
39 points the next night was a good game.
Okay, also a win. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They don't need him every single night.
Okay. Nope. Correct. And the clincher against the Timberwolves, 19 points. Bad game.
Yeah,
even though they won.
They don't need him every single night.
Bad game, though. 11 shot attempts.
But they don't need him every single... Do you understand that like a championship-level team, you don't need your superstar every single night?
I don't think you understand that Wemby's best attribute is scoring the basketball.
When his head coach says we need more than 20 points from our best player, maybe it should be.
They play their best when he isn't doing that.
Okay, well, the head coach says different. So maybe
I'm talking to you.
Well, maybe you should talk to the head coach.
Fine. Book him. You book him. You book him.
Okay.
Get Coach Johnson on the show, and we'll ask.
Well, he said it. He said, I don't need to ask him. Someone else asked him. Maybe it was Michael C. Wright, friend of the show, who asked him.
I don't know what you're doing right now.
Who said, what do you need him to do? Oh, we need him to score more points. We need the best player in the world to score more points so we can win the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. I don't know. I was unaware that Victor Wembanyama is a scoring player only. He does nothing else.
His coach said he needed to.
Brings nothing else to the table.
His coach said he needed to score more points.
He's just a guy that's out there to score points.
His coach said he needed to score more points. Maybe if he was better defensively, too, they wouldn't lose games if he wasn't so tired.
All right, it's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. That was an interesting exercise. I'm not sure if your point was proven there.
Thought leaders are often mocked.
But yes,
until they're proven right. Wait till he plays more minutes next year.
According to Adam Abdalla, Wembanyama can only play one good game at a time.
Bookmark this
and then
when
he has a following bad game after.
Bookmark this when he plays more minutes next year.
I'm sure he will.
Okay.
Why? That's not a surprise.
It will. It will be.
He only played 29 a night this past season.
Oh, but they need it because he's going to play more minutes next year because they realize he needs to play more to stretch his ass out. Phrasing.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Will A.J. Brown be traded on Monday? June 1st is Monday, and we have seen and heard the reports here the entire offseason that not only will he be traded on June 1st, but will he be traded to the New England Patriots specifically on June 1st? Diana Rossini's the one that reported that months ago. Ooh. That was going to be the case. Well, you know Diana Rossini from the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini back and forth.
Where in the world is Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini?
Interlocking fingers on top of a roof in Sedona. Yes, but when she was still with The Athletic, was reporting that June 1st, it was likely to get done, a A.J. Brown trade to the Patriots. Now, we do have new information, as Ian Rappaport, ESPN, told that he was on ESPN, and he said that the Eagles and the Patriots are still far apart on a Brown trade.
You know, we're all waiting for June 1st to happen so the cap hit is in half for the Philadelphia Eagles and they could trade him. I just don't know that it's going to be like snap your fingers and the deal is done because the two sides are where they have been, which is the Eagles wanting a first-round pick in 2027. The Patriots, the most likely destination. We'll see if someone else arises, but Patriots, the most likely destination, not being willing to give up a first-round pick as of right now. That means they're not particularly close, and yeah, there's a chance this could drag on for the foreseeable future.
Could drag on. So how are the relations with A.J. Brown and his teammates with the Eagles, right? Like, could there be a possibility that A.J. Brown returns? OTAs are taking place. Jalen Hurts spoke to the media yesterday, and he was asked about the future of A.J. Brown.
Picked the right question to sip on, huh? No, I think for us, we're focused on learning the offense. It really doesn't change in terms of our approach to improve. You know, there's an if. Obviously been a lingering thing, but nothing can replace all the greatness that we achieved together.
So there you go. Also, Jalen Hurts went on to say that they're good. That, quote, they're really good, the two of them. And he mentioned that I think they had their wedding. He wasn't invited, but they're really good. So there you go. A.J. Brown and the Eagles. The Eagles have their OTAs going on this week. A.J. Brown is not there.
I would invite the godfather of my daughter to my wedding. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think, but they're really good. Quote, they're really good.
Wouldn't you in someone that you entrust with the life of your child, should something happen to you and your significant other?
You would think.
You would be invited to you and your significant other's wedding?
You would think.
I mean, that's kind of weird, don't you think? A.J. Brown is not going to be an Eagle. I don't know if it happens on Monday. The reports from Ian Rappaport say that New England is reluctant to give up the first-round pick that the Eagles want. And that is what is holding this up. Because the draft is so much deeper and so much better than the last draft that we just had about a month or so ago. And so that is what is holding this up, or will hold this up come Monday, June 1st, and the reason that the holdup is and why this is taking place June 1st is because it's financially better for the Eagles to spread AJ Brown's money and split it up after June 1st per the contract. So if they do this after June 1st or on June 1st or after, it will save them some money and they get a better draft pick because it's after the draft that just took place. Now, does this mean another team could get involved? Well, the Rams reportedly were involved before the draft that just took place in Pittsburgh.
How would we describe that? Some light sniffing?
Some light sniffing?
They were there.
Some light sniffing?
Some light sniffing around the situation?
Well, but that would have involved moving on from Devontae Adams, but now that Devontae Adams' contract is kicked in and that guaranteed money is kicked in, that's no longer a thing because they've already given him that money. So you can't move on from that now. So that's not going to happen. So maybe there's another team that jumps in if this drags on. The longer this drags on, the more likely it is that another team could jump in and offer up a better pick because New England has Super Bowl aspirations again. So another team that the Eagles think won't get as far as New England could jump in and make this happen. And so anything could happen if this doesn't get done on June 1st, if New England is reluctant to give up that first-round pick.
Do you want to do some super early scouting for the draft next year? Wide receivers. Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State expected to be the number 1 wide receiver on the board.
Yeah.
Cam Coleman from Texas should be the second guy. Ryan Coleman Williams from Alabama is another name.
Yep.
Charlie Becker from Indiana. There's a lot of names.
Yep.
So I think, right, here's my thought. Does A.J. Brown win the Super Bowl for the Patriots? I don't know if that really is that. I don't think he's the missing piece to them getting to the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl. So if you want additions to your wide receiver core for your young quarterback, it may be more valuable for you to wait for the NFL draft next year. I get it. You won't be able to use the player in this upcoming season.
Yeah.
But I do understand not wanting to give up a first-round draft pick for A.J. Brown. Is A.J. Brown at this time worth a first-round draft pick? I don't know. He was a 1,000-yard receiver for 7 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, but you would think, I mean, there was
okay, in a new situation, new quarterback, is it going to unlock the A.J. Brown that we saw like 4 years ago?
Well, in the hit piece that was put out against Jalen Hurts early in the offseason on ESPN about the tension between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, it made it seem that a lot of it was on Jalen Hurts and his displeasure with the offense. Now, the Eagles do have a new offensive coordinator, so maybe that changes. And maybe this does change for A.J. Brown. Maybe he does get more touchdowns. And maybe that 1,000 yards does tick up a little bit. Now, the Patriots did sign Romeo Doubs, so they do have another wide receiver. Like, he's not A.J. Brown level, but it's another guy. Now, look, right now, you can't go in with Romeo Doubs and Kayshon Boutte and Mac Hollins as your guys if you're the Patriots. Like, that's not going to get it done. I think the Patriots are going into this offseason anticipating having A.J. Brown.
If you told me the asking price was a second and something else, that to me makes more sense. A.J. Brown to me is no longer a first-round pick traded player. He's not that good anymore.
The thought for me of giving up a first-round pick for A.J. Brown was doable because it was the 31st overall pick.
Yeah, no.
In the last draft that we just had.
And I'm not trying to rain on the Patriots parade, but we all expect New England to take a step back in this upcoming season. Then you're talking about...
That could be the 25th pick, the 26th pick.
Well, you're being generous. I'm guessing it's going to be in the mid-teens.
Whoa, that far of a backslide?
Well, you think the Patriots are going to make the playoffs?
I would expect them to be a wild card team. You don't think they're making the playoffs
You didn't
at all?
even finish that word because you couldn't muster out
My
the
voice went so
confidence to say wild card team.
Well, because I want to see if they get him or not. My voice went so high that I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's a lot. Buffalo's going to be the best team in the division.
Yes.
There's a lot of really good teams in the AFC. Yes, they should be competing for a wild card spot. But if they are not a wild card team, then you're looking at like the 17th pick, the 16th pick.
Whew. Well, if that's the case, then
I'm not giving up that for A.J. Brown. Come on now.
But the Patriots don't think that. Like, the Patriots aren't sitting there thinking we're going to have the 16th overall pick, and that's why we're not giving it up for A.J. Brown. The Patriots are sitting there thinking we're giving up the 32nd pick for A.J. Brown.
Yeah, every team does that.
I know, but that's why they're hesitant to give that up. So they're even hesitant of thinking that we're giving up the 32nd pick.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. All right, coming up next, we need to get Raj's opinion on your opinion on Wembanyama and his inability to play 2 good games in a row. So we will talk to Raj. Over-unders with Raj coming up next.
The Thunder beat the Spurs and lead the series 3-2. SGA and crew are a win away from punching their ticket to their 2nd consecutive finals. Will they get it done? Tonight in San Antonio. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. We're hanging out with you until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, broadcasting live each and every day from the great city of Chicago. And now it's time for Over and Unders with Raj as we go to parts unknown in Colorado.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Bleck. Hello, Abdalla. And Scout's honor, I did not plan this way. When I wrote the over-under questions, I did not know that you guys would be going at it not only about Wemby, but specifically Wemby scoring the segment leading in, because it's literally the first question I wrote in over-unders. Bleck is a fan of Wemby's game affecting all areas of the basketball court. Abdalla, he is backing up the Spurs coach that Wemby needs to score more points. So that's going to lead us right into our first over-under question. Victor Wembanyama is going to score over or under 24.5 points tonight. He's averaging 18.5 in this series. Abdalla, is Wemby going to do what his coach wants him to do?
I want Chris to go first. Because I want to look up I'm looking up. I want to look up his point total. I want to look up his point total, so I don't want to stall. I want to stall. I want to look up his point total. I'm looking up his point total on DraftKings. Come on, give me a second.
Sounded very Seinfeld there. Come on!
Yeah, I know.
Come on, give me a second. I'm stalling.
What's the deal? They're playing Peanuts.
All right, we used up all the Seinfeld references right there for the week for the network.
What? Well, Costos, I think, is off tomorrow. So.
That was the tip-in. The tip-in was, what's Costos going to do tomorrow?
He's off tomorrow. I think Chris Mack is in.
I think it's 28. It's 28 tonight on DraftKings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think he's going to go over. He's going to go over because on the every other game, he has a good game. Because he had his hands on his knees and he was all right. He's just waiting. We just wait till I get back home and I've had my rest and I've slept in my bed.
Same rest.
Slept in my bed. Yeah, but it's different rest because he's slept in my bed.
What are you doing?
Raj, you're gone one day and he comes back.
He's lost his damn mind.
He's on one today, man.
I tell you guys, thought leaders are often mocked.
Yeah. I think it'll be over the 24.5 because I think he will have a good game tonight, Raj. So I'm going to go over on it. What did you make of about 20 minutes ago here on this show, Abdalla trying to say that Wemby cannot play a good game unless he scores points and has shot attempts? What did you think of that, Raj?
Well, and it began I believe it began again about him not playing enough minutes in the regular season, right? And then that evolved into
That's why he's tired now,
back to back. Now, what I find interesting is I didn't even realize that Wemby wasn't playing that many minutes in the regular season until months ago. Bleck brought it up. Like you caught it, Chris, of he doesn't play that much, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works in the playoffs when he plays more. So that evolves into Abdalla's opinion that after game one, when we were ready to crown this dude like the greatest player of all time, and Abdalla's like the one guy who's like, I don't know here, I'm a little worried he didn't play enough minutes. And we're like, that was your takeaway from last night? And Abdalla's sitting there, he's like, he looks so tired in overtime. And now here we are games later, and Abdalla, he's doing the shrug emoji right now because he's like, I was right. And that's what I took away from it.
He's like half right. I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if he's necessarily right. Okay,
just
Raj.
saying.
What a tangled web we weaved over this entire thing.
I'm going to go over on it.
All right, guys, let's go to the NFL. We talked about the Baltimore Ravens earlier today. Lamar Jackson, he usually isn't at this stuff. He's there. He seems happy. Breath of fresh air. He's got a positive attitude. So I asked, under his new head coach, Jesse Minter, and really his new OC coming from the Chicago Bears, Declan Doyle, Lamar Jackson will pass for over or under 31.5 touchdowns this season. Real drastic difference in performance the last 2 years. Last year, he only played 13 games, tossed 21 touchdowns. You go back the year before he played the full season, he tossed 41. So split the difference at 31.5 touchdowns for Lamar Jackson his first year in a new offense. Bleck?
Yeah, and Raj, like when you hear those numbers, it's not a equal representation based on, if he plays more games, he'll throw more touchdowns. I mean, you're telling me in a 4-game difference, he threw 20 more touchdowns than he did the year before, which is insane. I'm guessing he will be better this upcoming season. I'm going to go under the 31.5, but I don't think his success for touchdown passes has anything to do with the actual new offense that will be implemented. It will be whether or not he can stay healthy. If he can play enough games, which it goes back to the same conversation we have with various different running quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. If you run more, or you are a quarterback who looks to leave the pocket, you are hurt and hit more often than other quarterbacks. So if the new offense can get him to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer more than usual, then he has a chance to go over. I just don't think it'll happen in year one. 31.5, I will go under.
I'm going to say over, but I think this is why. So the year he threw 41 touchdowns 2 years ago, he was sacked 23 times. Last year, and I know it was 4 less games, he threw 21 touchdowns. He was sacked 36 times. Declan Doyle, coming from where? Chicago, with Ben Johnson. What is the one thing Ben Johnson did with Caleb Williams? He cut his sacks by more than half. So, if we think that Declan Doyle can do that with Lamar Jackson and get those sacks back down from 36 and cut them down to, let's say, 20, 23 again, then those numbers could go back up around, I'm not going to say 41, but could go to 31, 32. Because if you're getting rid of the football faster, if you're progressing through the offense, if you're going through all your reads, that kind of stuff, I think that the offense will flow better. I think that if you're getting sacked less, that means you're moving the ball down the field, all that kind of stuff. You're not getting behind the sticks, you're not getting behind the chains, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go over because I think those same concepts are going to come to Baltimore with Declan Doyle.
All right, guys, let's go back over to the hardwood. I don't know what the legal implications are of our next topic, so I just gonna disclaim, start off there. I hope Shay's attorneys aren't listening. All right, Abdalla, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will shoot over or under 9.5 free throws tonight. He's averaging just over 10 during the Western Conference Finals.
Ooh, I'm gonna say they're on the road. I'm gonna go under, because you're going to get a Spurs-friendly whistle tonight. I'm going to go under. If this goes 7 and you go back to Oklahoma and you ask us this again, it's because the game's over the weekend. So you can ask us this again tomorrow, because if it goes 7, you can ask us this again tomorrow.
Saturday.
So the game will be Saturday. So you can ask us this again tomorrow. I'll go over for game 7, but I'll say under tonight because the game is on the road and the whistle will be Spurs-friendly.
Tomorrow we will play fill in the blank.
I understand that, but you could say how many will it be, and I could fill in the blank.
SGA will shoot blank free throws.
So he'll shoot blank free throws. So, yeah.
Raj, I'm going to go over. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will get to the free throw line tonight, but I don't see that being like the way the game is dictated. I think he will get to the foul line many times, but I think the Spurs start off quickly, and he will be the one that's like keeping the Thunder in the game with his ability to dribble drive into the paint and then flop away. And then he will be rewarded in some situations. But I do think that the whistle will be heavy on the Thunder defensively. I think where the Spurs will be more aggressive at home, going after the basket, especially like Stephon Castle, dribbling into the paint and then being able to body as he gets the... we saw in game 1, Dylan Harper was able to do that, and it really hasn't happened since game 1. So I'm looking for the Spurs to be more aggressive towards the basket tonight, but SGA will go over the free throw number you've set.
All right, guys, back up to Philadelphia. We heard from Jalen Hurts earlier today. We presume A.J. Brown is gone. Mekhi Lemon is in. Look, last year, Jalen Hurts did not rank in the top half of quarterbacks in passing yards. So I ask, Jalen, Hulu has live sports, Hurts will rank over or under 13.5 in the league in ranking in passing yards this season. Abdalla?
Under. Or over.
What?
Worse. So I'm going to say over that number. So he's going to be worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, over.
If he's
over
like 16th or 17th or 18th.
Yeah, so over is what I meant to say. Yeah, over. So he's worse than that is what I mean. Yeah, over that. So he's worse than that.
I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
He's going to be worse this
Worse
year,
than
too.
that is what I mean to say. Yeah.
I'm going to go over as well.
Yeah, I got confused of which under or over meant worse.
We're not buying that he knows the pressure is on him after the hit piece, and he's going to put it all together.
He's got Mekhi Lemon. He's got like new pieces there, another new offensive coordinator. I just think there's too much turnover for him to be on pace with that. So I'm going to say worse than the 13.5. So I'm going to go over. Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm going to go over as well.
All right, so you guys both go over on Hurts, meaning he'll be worse. And finally, we have we'll hear a little later in the show from Rob Manfred, the head of Major League Baseball. But this has been a big one that we've hinted a little at, so I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and put a number on this sucker. All right, so Major League Baseball is going to miss over under 81.5 games, half the season next year, due to a work stoppage. Christopher Bleck.
Okay, my answer is it will be under because I don't think baseball is that stupid. You can't the Major League Baseball is thriving right now. People love baseball. You have a team that's going for a three-peat. So that's a fascinating storyline with the Dodgers. They're also a team that is easily hateable for markets where they are not spending the way the Dodgers do. They are a villain that everyone can kind of point to. I think the fact that in recent years that the pitch clock has added to the snappiness of going to the ballpark and enjoying a baseball game in under 2.5 hours, baseball is great. The ratings were up last year in the Major League Baseball playoffs. We saw in the World Series the ratings were great. We've seen here in the first month and change of the MLB season, we're now ending the second month of the season, that the national TV ratings for baseball this year have been up. So baseball's having a moment right now. You cannot derail the social enthusiasm for baseball by sitting out half of a season. You cannot do that. Someone's got to fold. You got to play baseball next year. I'm going to go under the number of 81.5.
What did you say? They're not that stupid?
They're not that stupid.
Oh, they are the...
Baseball's not that stupid.
They are the stupidest.
No,
they are the dumbest. They are the stupidest. They are the dumbest. They can and they will. I'm going to say over. They are so far apart. They are so far apart. You have owners fighting with owners. Owners fighting with owners. Some of them want a salary cap and some of them don't. So not only are the two sides, the players and the owners, fighting, you have owners that can't agree. That's the problem. You have owners of the Dodgers and the Mets that say, let us spend. I got money. Let me spend it. Let me show it and throw it. And you've got owners of other teams that say, "What? No, stop paying all these players. You're making me look bad. You're making me, the cheap owner, look bad because you're giving Ohtani $1 billion and deferring it for 70 years."
Don't talk about Jerry Reinsdorf like that. Abdalla, that's not right.
So they can't get along within themselves. How do you think they're going to get along with the players? There's no way. There's no way. So it's over. It's for sure over.
All right, and that does it for over-under, guys. Over-under, could I make it? And if I drove to Chicago now, could I make it by tomorrow so we can catch that flight to Italy? For those that don't know, we were planning a just impromptu Italy trip this weekend.
Yes, and it's because Raj wants to go see. There's a wrestling match.
The Clash in Italy. Unfortunately, and by the way, guys, unfortunately, the event is sold out. We can make an offer on secondhand tickets. I just finished the conversion. We can sit in the nosebleeds for about $500 US a pop, the three of us in the nosebleeds, if we want to go to the, is it the Inapoli Arena in Torino, Italy?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sounds
whatever
good.
you said.
Why not?
Whatever you said.
Yeah.
So that plus the last second flight to Italy and me driving up, no problem. We'll have fun. And you guys have friends in Italy this weekend. We'll have a blast.
What is this wrestling this weekend?
Clash in Italy? Who's clashing?
It's just this month's event. No big deal.
Who's clashing?
This month,
There's another one.
So
next
what was
month.
it? Last month it was Backstab.
No,
Backstab?
Backstab was Carlito's finishing move back in the 2000s. It was Backlash.
When is SummerSlam?
In the summer.
August.
Oh, end of the summer. Okay, what's the June event?
Money in the Bank.
Okay, all right.
What's July?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Tickle me in the bush.
Yeah. Whoa, hey, yo, whoa.
The bushes.
Whoa.
Trees. I don't know.
Are the bushwhackers coming back?
That's what I'm thinking. Yes. And Doink the Clown.
Oh man, I love Doink.
Oh, I lied. It's not Money. Money in the Bank's not till September. July is Saturday night's main event at the Garden, MSG. Maybe we'll see a banner up in the crowd. The NBA Cup banner's already up there, but maybe there'll be another banner by the time we're
Come on, Raj. We're already ESPN has taken over sports coverage with wrestling. We don't need to do it.
I'm embracing it now. I fought it before, but now it bothers you guys so much. I'm channeling my inner
There's
Dylan Brooks.
softball on right now. I'm surprised they don't have a wrestler.
They broke in with a wrestler.
I'm surprised they don't have a wrestler taking an at-bat in the softball game.
It's outrageous. What happened to the sports I used to
Give me more and more
consume?
of it. Inject it in my veins.
Unbelievable. All right. Thank you, Raj. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. We're
we
going to go
fun
to
in
Italy. Impromptu Italy trip so Raj can see the wrestling. Yes. I'll go. I'll support the team.
Twist my arm. Yeah.
Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Armin's like, what? I didn't approve a trip to Italy for them. Like, what?
He still hasn't gotten my expense report for the HGH. I'm trying.
I didn't approve that trip.
We're going
Raj.
over to buy HGH, Armin. Come on.
What are they doing? I didn't approve this.
The summer of HGH.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. So, Rob Manfred, we were just talking about baseball. They're having a moment. Things are going well. Abdalla's saying they're the stupidest, that they can't figure it out. And I don't think that they can afford missing games next season. Manfred spoke to ESPN yesterday, and he talked about the payroll gap in baseball. We'll address that and talk about that coming up next.
The Super Bowl champion Seahawks, MVP Matthew Stafford's Rams, and Mike Vrabel's Patriots are all back on the field for OTAs. Football news is happening now, and no one covers it like your home of the NFL and Super Bowl 61. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Check out the YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel. We have the live stream up each and every day, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. Yesterday, Rob Manfred had a chance to speak on ESPN television with Pat McAfee. And, you know, with baseball in this situation right now, the season's 2 months in. There's a lot of great storylines. That we know that overall people are into baseball right now. The TV ratings last year in the playoffs were up. You also have a champion that it's easy to hate, right? The Dodgers spend more money than anyone else. They defer funds. Not every team can do that. Some teams can. Not everyone can. And so when you get that into this season and you see that the Dodgers are going for the third world title, and then also you have the idea that people are watching baseball. Things have worked for the game of baseball. With that said, the looming labor dispute is on the horizon.
Yeah, and it's a problem for baseball because this is something that they've known has been coming. And I feel like when you know that there's a deadline and you wait, and we know that, look, it's not like they haven't been negotiations. Negotiations have started, but get together, start working this out. You see all the evidence that baseball is in a good place. There's no reason that there should be a lockout. There's no reason that you guys can't come to an agreement to have a new collective bargaining agreement that doesn't end in a work stoppage.
Here is Rob Manfred yesterday on ESPN talking about the payroll gap, which is not fair in baseball.
Our payroll gap from top to bottom is $446 million. That's not a fair fight, and the numbers really bear out that it's not a fair fight. If you have a high payroll, you're much more likely to make the playoffs. And if you have a high payroll, your chances of going to each of the successive rounds are massively higher than a low payroll club. And, look, fans want competition. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And we need to get that one fixed.
So that was Rob Manfred. Yes, we need to get that fixed. Thank you, Rob. Also, Manfred went on to talk about the consideration for expansion in baseball.
We try to think in 10-year segments, what should it look like? How can we make it better? I think that one of the things that we've begun to think about is expansion. There's a lot of markets in the United States, in North America, quite frankly, Canada and Mexico, that would like to have Major League Baseball. When people want your product, I think it's kind of incumbent on you to try to figure out a way that if you can deliver that product to them. And the advantage of expansion is it opens up a whole lot of opportunities in terms of things like geographic realignment, which promotes rivalries, reduces travel in we have a tough season, 162 games in 186 days. That's, tough.
Yes, it's tough. The reason is you expand for the rights of a franchise.
You want more money.
Which are in the billions.
You want
money.
More.
Rob,
dollars.
It's money.
You want more dollars.
Yes. Okay, yeah, we can realign our divisions. Yeah, because that's what people really want.
More money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. You want
to get
money.
Get rid of rivalries. Everybody loves that.
Owners want more money. So that's our guy, Rob Manfred. And here on the Bleck Abdalla Show, whenever we hear a clip from Rob Manfred and whenever he's in the news, we need to throw back to the World Series in 2020 when Rob Manfred was on the field handing out the MVP trophy to Corey Seager. Now, we must say here on the Bleck Abdalla Show, he was medically cleared. There was nothing wrong medically with Rob Manfred in this sound clip handing the trophy to Corey Seager. Take a listen.
Corey, you thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance. You led the Dodgers to a World Series victory, and it's my pleasure to recognize your great play with the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet.
There he is. There's Rob Manfred.
You thrilled our fans.
Hello.
Hit it, Roy. Hit it.
I'm
Yes.
back.
Yes.
To ruin your baseball.
Yes, Rob Manfred. Now,
I'm here.
The Bleck Abdalla Show. We must say on national radio,
hello.
He was medically cleared. Major League Baseball released a statement saying he was medically cleared. So
you thrilled our fans.
That's the case. If he's medically cleared, that means we can make fun of it.
Hello.
Corey.
Do you like the new automated balls and strike system? Is it fun? Do you like challenge? Do you like a challenge?
I think people like the challenges.
Do you
Rob.
like looking at the
tap the helmet?
Do you like the scoreboard thing?
Tap the helmet.
People
yes.
can go.
You led the Dodgers.
Or they can go boo. Or they can go.
Corey.
Or they can go boo. And then
Corey.
I did that. I did it. But guess what? Chris.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No baseball for you?
Well, no, we have baseball this season.
Not anymore.
This season. Yes,
Next
You
year.
thrilled our fans.
Yes, we do have baseball.
There's
that is true.
The gap
It's widening.
Too big?
Too big of a gap?
It's too big.
Too big of a gap.
Too big.
Between the Dodgers and others.
It's too big between the Dodgers.
The Dodgers aren't the only ones.
And the White Sox.
You led the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Well, it's not just the White Sox. So what about the Pirates? And the Marlins?
The Marlins.
The teams that don't want to spend.
They don't thrill fans. Well, the Murasakis, Murakamis.
The what?
You thrilled our fans.
The Murasakis, Murakamis. He thrill fans.
The what?
Murasakis, Murakamis.
Corey.
Thrills fans. He hits the
Corey.
ball far.
Corey.
But
Corey.
they won't get to
Rob.
the postseason.
Corey.
Rob.
Because they don't have any money.
Yes. I disagree. I think we will have baseball.
You're wrong.
I hope not.
You led the Dodgers.
He was medically cleared, all right?
There's no
You
way.
thrilled our fans.
Baseball said he was okay.
There's no way, dude. There's no way
Yes.
there's no way they have baseball.
Oh,
There's no way.
you know how it is.
He even said it. He said it right there. The gap.
Corey.
When the commissioner is saying, the commissioner who works on the behalf of the owners.
Corey.
He works for the owners. Is saying that the owners are too far apart from themselves.
Right. Well,
Dude.
Corey.
Dude.
all right. Well, there you go. It's Rob Manfred. Yep.
You know
led
what they
the
need to do?
Dodgers.
Medically cleared.
Move the World Cup to
Corey.
next year so we have something to watch.
Oh.
Because they ain't gonna be nothing in the summer.
Oh, you're telling me.
Nothing.
Corey.
That's our guy, Rob Manfred, with Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy gave different answers on their relationship yesterday. We talk about that coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla on the air until 3 Eastern, and then we'll hand it off to Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show right here on Westwood One Sports. The phone number is 310-840-4910. You can call or text the show at that number. And Abdalla, I want to play a game with you. It's a game we love to play here on the show. It's called, Is This Something or Is It Nothing? Is it something
game.
Or is it nothing?
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Minnesota Vikings are at OTAs, and both quarterbacks got a chance to talk to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know with the Minnesota Vikings in this offseason, they bring in Kyler Murray. You and I both think that Kyler is an instant upgrade at the quarterback position. I'm not going to tell you he's going to be a top 10 quarterback, but with Kevin O'Connell and what we've seen, the potential of Kyler when he plays well, I'm expecting Minnesota to get better quarterback play from that position in this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know the other part of the story is that J.J. McCarthy was drafted 3 seasons ago, and he has started limited games in the NFL, but he clearly needs more development. And that's the story and why watching Minnesota in this offseason and how they handle the quarterback position will be a top NFL storyline as we head towards training camp at the end of the summer.
Yeah, and I think that going through this process, at least the process that the media is available to watch, because that's all we'll get to know, it'll be interesting to see once we get to training camp specifically, because OTAs, you only get 1 day of media availability usually. It'll be interesting to see once we get to training camp how the reps are divvied up.
Yeah.
Is it Kyler gets reps with the ones 1 day, JJ gets 1 day with the ones, or is it like 75-25? Is it 60-40? Because that will tell the true story. And Kevin O'Connell knows that this is a championship, maybe not championship. This is a division-winning caliber team. The NFC North is pretty wide open. I would say the Lions are the best team in the NFC North, and the rest are pretty even. The Bears are right there. They won the division last year. and everybody else was right there in the mix. And I think that the Vikings have a shot as long as Kyler Murray can prove himself a legitimate starter. The Packers are right there. And like I said, the Bears are still right there. So I think anybody can win this division. And I think Kevin O'Connell knows that. And I don't think he's going to mess around. If one of these guys separates themselves early, I think all of the reps with the first team are going to go with whoever separates themselves. And I think it would be foolish to say that it's not going to be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and I think when you say we're going to keep our eyes on the reps, rep watch. Right? Like there are two teams that come to mind, maybe three teams that come to mind when we talk about rep watch when we get towards training camp. It's going to be Minnesota. It's going to be Cleveland. And I'm guessing it'll be Atlanta.
Yeah.
Those are the three, right? Everyone else, we kind of know who the starters will be. Yeah, obviously, whatever happens with Jacoby Brissett, his holdout because he wants starter money, even though he's a backup. Okay, we could throw the Cardinals into the mix too for rep watch. You lifting, bro? Let me watch your reps. Like that's what popped into my head when you were saying talking about the reps. But ideally, these teams will know as they head into the training camp. And Jeff Schwartz has filled in on the show multiple times. He played in the NFL for 10 years for the Giants on the offensive line, and he laughed at the whole conversation of splitting reps because his point is in the world of the NFL, there is no competition for that stuff. Someone is a starter and they will get the first team reps with the first team. And that's just what it is. The NFL teams don't have the time to mess around and waste sharing the reps between multiple players. So it's just the case. So when we look at Minnesota specifically, that's why I ask you, Abdalla, while we play the game, is it something or is it nothing? Let's listen to the two quarterbacks who spoke to the media yesterday, because I think you can draw conclusions to what was said, but also maybe we're overhyping and looking too much into what was said yesterday at Vikings camp at OTAs. Here is Kyler Murray on what he said, how he wants to help J.J. McCarthy. Here's Kyler.
It's been great. Obviously, I know he's a younger guy, so any way I can help him. Obviously, I feel like I've played 7 years now, going on 8, so I'm considered a veteran, even though I don't see myself as that. Give him any knowledge that he needs. Again, we're both competitors, and I know we both want what's best for the team.
Has he been receptive to hearing criticism?
Of course. Yeah, he's overly acceptive, and he's always communicating, asking questions, stuff like that. So it's been good.
All right, Kyler Murray. And quite honestly, that's a refreshing.
That's QB1.
Great answer.
That's a QB1 answer right there.
Great answer from a quarterback who essentially his last team told him he wasn't any good.
Yeah.
They didn't want him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the Cardinals don't have an option, right? Like they threw him out to the trash.
Yeah.
And they don't have a replacement.
No. Well,
okay.
They will next year when they draft 1 or 2 overall. But
at the moment, they don't.
Yes.
This isn't a situation where the Cardinals had the number 1 pick and they're bringing in the guy that's going to replace the guy.
Correct.
They drafted Carson Beck, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Is it something or is it nothing? All right. Let's take a listen from the other perspective. Here's J.J. McCarthy on his relationship with Kyler Murray so far.
It's just like two guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. So,
is there any awkwardness between you two?
Awkwardness, it's just like the same feeling, when you're in high school and there's another person on the other side of the room. That's just kind of how it is. So I wouldn't say there's any awkwardness.
Is it something or is it nothing? Kyler's response seemed mature, to understand the situation and support the young kid. J.J. McCarthy, the way I'm reading it, if you want to, is it something or is it nothing? To me, it screams vibes of this is something where McCarthy's obviously bothered that Kyler Murray was brought in, and he views it as the two of them are equals. And he's not learning anything from Kyler Murray because the coaches coach, the teachers teach, and we're both in high school sitting in the same class together, and it's every man for himself. Is it something or is it nothing?
That dude is pressed. That dude is upset. That dude is so bothered by Kyler Murray coming in and having this competition and being told that he has to win his job back because of his performance or lack thereof. And this is not his gig anymore. And that, yeah, okay, you can say it's Kevin O'Connell's job to teach. It's also your job to have played better last year. And I understand that in the year before you weren't healthy and you couldn't play. That's neither here nor there. You weren't available. That's not under your control. But right now, this is the NFL. Now, what's interesting is that J.J. McCarthy has been through this before. J.J. McCarthy has gone through a quarterback competition where he took someone's job at Michigan.
Yeah.
Say you've dealt with this before.
No, they're just sitting in the classroom.
Say
coaches are coaching. We're sitting in a classroom.
I've been in this situation before at Michigan. I've dealt with the quarterback competition before. We'll learn from each other. We'll help each other out. And, what's best for the team is best for the team. How am I answering this question better than J.J. McCarthy?
Well, he's obviously bothered by this situation.
Okay.
Right. So, when I ask the question, is it something or is it nothing?
It's nothing from Kyler.
Right. That's how I read it.
It's something from JJ.
Certainly something from McCarthy.
Yeah, it's something from JJ. Yeah.
It's weird. His response is strange, right?
Now, was that an answer from JJ McCarthy, or was that an answer from 9? Who gave that answer? I need to know. Because I need to know who is in this quarterback competition. Who is
Kyler or 9?
Kyler or 9? Or is it Kyler or JJ? Who steps onto the competition field?
Well, JJ's a nice young man.
Isn't he, though?
And 9 is just a fierce competitor. He's just got eye black on, and he's ready to go.
He's going to win that job. You ain't winning that job, bro. I'm sorry.
Wow. So, okay. Am I reading too much into his comments?
I don't think so. I think that
they're strange, right? Tell us that we're wrong. I feel like that's a weird way to look at it from J.J. McCarthy's perspective. You can text the show at 310-840-4910. Chad in California, he texts from the 209. He says, J.J. McCarthy is definitely having himself a pity party. That was a weird response.
It is weird.
I agree, Chad. I'm with you. That was a weird response.
It's weird because... Okay, so it's weird because it's not your standard quarterback competition answer. I think Kyler's...
I think it would be more acceptable if he left out the stuff about the coaches. He clearly... J.J. McCarthy, this is the way that I'm seeing this response. He's clearly trying to give the impression that Kyler Murray is not helping him. And it's the coaches coaching the both of them.
That they're equals?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that he is not, there's nothing he can learn from someone that's been in the NFL for 7+ seasons.
Yeah.
Where Kyler, the response is very mature, where it seems like he totally understands his situation. If he doesn't play well, he's going to be a backup for the rest of his career.
But I take back my answer. Take it back.
You think it's a nothing?
No, opposite. Kyler's response is a something. Kyler's response is a something. Kyler's response is a big dog.
Oh, you think he's sunning him?
I think he's big dogging him.
Which I kind of love. I kind of love that.
I think he's coming in and saying, "Yeah, I can." Listen, I've been in the league for 7, 8 years now. I've got a lot to teach him.
Listen, kid.
Listen, he's not wrong. He's seen a lot of games. He's played a lot of football. He's also been out and dealt with the same things and sitting on the sideline and dealing with injury the same way that J.J. McCarthy has.
Yeah, but the reason why I didn't think as much that was a big dog or he's sunning him, I didn't think it was that much of a situation because Kyler's like tone doesn't sound like arrogant or cocky.
No. No.
I feel like Kyler at times when he was in Arizona could sound a little flippant.
Yeah, of
and
course.
a little like condescending to the media.
Look,
and he doesn't sound like that.
No.
Here, Roy, if we could, can we replay the Kyler Murray soundbite here? And then I want to replay the McCarthy. So let's go with Kyler Murray. Take a listen again. Listen to the tone from Kyler Murray talking about how he wants to help J.J. McCarthy.
Obviously, I feel like, I've played 7 years now, going on 8. So I'm considered a veteran, even though I don't see myself as that. Give him any knowledge that he needs. Again, we're both competitors, and I know, we both want what's best for the team.
Has he been receptive to hearing criticism?
Of course. Yeah, he's overly acceptive, and he's always communicating, asking questions, stuff like that, so it's been good.
So there's Kyler Murray. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a shade of like big dogging.
It's a little bit of like I'm teaching him things, but we both want what's best for the fact that he said we both want what's best for the team takes a little bit of the big dog out of it. But he did say like I'm teaching him things because I've been in the league for 7-8 years. Like I've seen some things.
And then let's listen to McCarthy's response on the relationship between Murray and himself to this point.
It's just like two guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. So,
is there any awkwardness like between you two?
It's right here.
Awkwardness, it's just like the same feeling, when you're in high school and there's another person on the other side of the room. That's just kind of how it is. So I wouldn't say there's any awkwardness.
No, that's awkward, JJ. And,
man.
And saying it's the responsibility of the coaches to coach you both.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for letting us know that. I was unaware of that's the job description of a coach.
Well, and
it's the responsibility of the coaches to coach us. Yeah,
I'm not surprised that Kyler's coming in with a more receptive attitude and, like you said, less of a flippant attitude like he had in Arizona because
not
he
always,
knows.
but sometimes he did.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. But he knows this is his second chance. Like he's going to the quarterback whisperer. Like we've seen you're in the same room, you breathe the same air as Kevin O'Connell, and look at what happened to Sam Darnold. Look to an extent what happened to Daniel Jones, who didn't even play in a game for the Vikings, and look what he did until he was injured with the Colts last year. So I have a feeling he understands that if he does sit there and learn and watch and pay attention to what Kevin O'Connell is going to impart on him, and he does have a successful season, it can turn into an extended run here with the Vikings, or at least, hopefully the Vikings, for his sake, don't make the same mistake twice with Sam Darnold. And if it does work out between Kyler Murray and the Vikings, he is a Viking, but you never put it past the Vikings to do it again, and he goes on and signs a contract with another team.
Right.
So either way,
let's call it what it is, though. He knows. He's also going to be the starter for this team.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's going to be the starter for the Vikings. Let's be real. That's what's going to take place here. And McCarthy can be in his feels, and he can be sad-sacked because he's getting big dogged, and they're both in the classroom, and the coaches are coaching both of them. 9, you will be on the bench. That's the case. That's what's going to happen because Kyler Murray's the better quarterback. End of story.
Yeah.
I feel like
and
Kyler
we'll see
wasn't
that.
even big dogging, though. Like, if you hear the recording, it's just what you would expect a senior player to say to, someone who doesn't have as much ears.
Right. Absolutely. It seemed like Kyler seems like mature for this situation.
Because he is.
Which he is, and he's been knocked for that in the past. So it's different to hear that from Kyler Murray. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. There's a quarterback who had a really bad injury at the end of last season who's back at OTAs, and he expects to be ready for week 1 of the NFL season. It was a bad injury. We will update that, and we will tell you who said that, which quarterback it is, coming up next.
Is your team in the Women's College World Series? Catch every game on the Westwood One Sports app. Your home for NCAA championship action. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Yesterday, we saw a video of Daniel Jones at Colts OTAs, dropping back, throwing passes, moving side to side in the pocket. He tore his Achilles at the end of last season. It was like 5 months ago, right, that he was injured with the Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there at OTAs this week for the Colts. Now, Daniel Jones spoke to the media, and he talked about his recovery time, and he thinks he'll be ready for week 1. Take a listen to this.
Good, feeling good. It's been a good process so far, like 6 months into it, so feeling good. Been here working hard with our trainers and strength staff here, and going well.
What's it like to be back out on the field?
It's good. Good to be back and just be around, and be with the guys, be out on the field. Obviously not doing everything yet, but just being out here has been fun.
Your expectation to be the starter for week 1, be on the field?
Absolutely.
So there you go, Daniel Jones. Absolutely. After tearing the Achilles at the end of last season, expects to be the starter week 1 for the Indianapolis Colts.
He can expect a lot of things.
He looked good. Did you see the video of him?
I saw the video.
Side to side, stepping up in the pocket, off the back foot, off the Achilles, throwing.
Yep.
All that stuff yesterday.
All being rushed by air. Right?
Oh, yeah. The teams aren't in pads. There's no pass rush. Yeah, I understand.
That's my point.
But he looked nimble for someone that just tore his Achilles.
Oh yeah, look, and he's not the most elusive guy anyway, but he's fine. He's serviceable. But he was, and the Colts were for the first 7-8 weeks of the season, the story of the season last year.
They were hot to try.
They were.
They were the team that everyone talked about, the surprise of the year.
They were the surprise of the year, and they had a very easy schedule until everybody moved over and talked about how easy the schedule the Patriots were having. And so until he got hurt, that offense was the best offense in the NFL last year. And then he was injured, and they had to call Phillip Rivers and get him out of a high school practice field, and it completely fell apart. I don't think that they're going to be able to compete with the Texans and the Jags in their division this year. I think they're definitely going, if you expect them to have the same success as they did the first 7-8 weeks of the season, it's not going to happen. They're not going to go on that crazy run that they did.
Yeah, I don't think so. But, even with the injuries and the fall off, yards per play last season, the Colts were 8th in the NFL.
Yeah.
We know, just because of where we host this show every day, in the city of Chicago, people are promoting and celebrating and talking up how great Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears offense is.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears, yards per play last season, they were 9th.
Yep.
The Colts, by that metric specifically, had a better offense.
Yeah.
The Ravens were 7th.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks were 6th. So, the Colts had a legitimate top 10 offense last season.
They did.
I just don't trust Daniel Jones as a player healthy. So forget the fact that he's rehabbing an injury. I never expected the Colts to keep up that pace throughout the entire season because I didn't believe in the quarterback.
Well, last year's very easy schedule to start the season has completely flipped on them. Because to start the season, Ravens, Chiefs, Texans.
Yeah, that's a bit of a gauntlet. Those are 3 playoff teams. Well, a team that missed the playoffs and the Chiefs, but you get what I'm saying.
You expect them to be,
traditionally, Kansas City is pretty good.
You expect them to rebound this year, and if Mahomes is going to start the season this year, they're going to be.
What week is that game? Second week?
Week 2, yeah.
I'm guessing Daniel Jones and Mahomes are both playing in that game based on
NBC better hope because that's a primetime game. That's Sunday night football.
Is that a little Sunday night football?
It's a little Sunday night. That's a little Sunday night.
Waiting all night for a Sunday night?
It's a little waiting all day for a Sunday night.
Yeah, a little Underwood there, a little Carey. Yeah. All right. Tarico on the call?
Yeah.
Getting your football ready? Your juices flowing?
Absolutely.
Thank God, no Dungy.
He doesn't call the games. He's not on the call.
He was the worst.
He's just on your pregame.
That was terrible.
And you don't have to watch that.
I watch. I'm a football fan. I watch it all.
You don't have to.
I watch all of the I knew that would break you. I knew thankfully Dungy's not
You don't
there
have
anymore.
to consume that.
I don't need that Colts propaganda thrown out there every week.
Well, it's not going to be there.
Thank you.
Instead, you're going to get a bunch of Steelers propaganda.
It's fine. Tomlin's going to be the man. He's going to be great on that.
Yeah, he will
He's going to be so good.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree. That's a tough start to this season.
Yeah, it is.
You have the Texans. Their defense is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Kansas City bounces back. Who is the third team? The Ravens?
They start with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Ravens, Chiefs, Texans. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens in the points week 1. If you've got that fresh line
I can get you a line.
on DraftKings for me?
I can get you a line. I can get you a line if you want. If you give me a second here, let's find the line here.
I'll take the Ravens minus the 3.5. I think is what it will be. Are the Ravens at home?
Games.
Ravens by 4.
The Ravens are 3.5-point road favorites here.
3.5
road favorites. Road favorites. Oh, give me the Colts.
Jeez.
Give me the Colts to surprise some
All right.
people at home.
Yeah,
Cover that
okay.
3.5.
All right. I thought that if that was a home game for the Ravens, that was a lock.
Yeah, I'll take
of the week of the century.
I'll take the hook.
But yeah, you're right.
What's up?
All right. We're not talking Giants football.
And
Jackson
then the
Dart.
fourth game's not easy either. It's the Commanders.
Oh yeah, that's a tough go.
Yeah.
That's a tough start to
Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
That's a pretty difficult start to this season.
Yeah.
And I know that we could go through every single team's first 4 games, and there's various options there. But
a lot of summer left.
That's a tough start. I don't want people to get too excited. I think next Tuesday is the 100 days until the start of the NFL season. I think that's the case. I think Tuesday. If my math has correct.
Hold on. Let me see. The first day of the season is September 9th. Let's see.
I think it's Tuesday. I was looking
104 days.
Yeah, so
until September 9th.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
So what? That's right.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? Because tomorrow will be 103.
Yeah. And then 102 is Saturday.
And Monday is 101.
Yeah.
So Tuesday is 100.
There you go.
I'm paying attention to a little football.
Yeah, get a list.
What's up?
All right, Jackson Dart. I see that you and your Giants teammates hashed it out.
Yeah, you hacked it.
Over your intro of the president.
We made amends. We're all good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like it does, like from my vantage point, it does feel like, did they try and make Abdul Carter the bad guy for, like, is the way that I'm seeing it is that people are annoyed that he took something that was in the locker room and went public with it? Is that the case? Because Abdul Carter commented on Jackson Dart introducing President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
At an event, and that's Dart from that event. That's how the introduction started with Jackson Dart.
What's up?
That the problem was that he commented in public about that event, right?
Yep.
But they hashed it out.
And he had to address his teammates. Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's good now.
All right. Well, all right. I guess so. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if the teammates are cool with that. If they're all on board with how that played out.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I'm saying it was a top story on ESPN.com today.
It was.
That Jackson Dart spoke to the media yesterday. He said that he spoke to his teammates and that Abdul Carter spoke to their teammates and that it's all, they have an understanding.
Okay.
From our guy.
Do you think that's how Jackson
Our guy,
Dart started?
Jackson Dart.
Your guy, Jackson Dart.
Oh, I said that sarcastically.
Well, you're the big Giants guy, so that's why.
What's up?
You're the big Giants guy, so that's why I said your guy, Jackson Dart.
Let's see if Jackson Dart can stay upright and avoid the blue concussion tent throughout the regular season. Let's see if that can
What's up?
be the case. I mean, spend less time in the tent, more time in the huddle.
That'd be nice.
That would be step 1 for Jackson Dart.
That would be nice.
And you're right. I do think the Giants will be improved.
Okay.
That was assuming the locker room was together.
They can still be together. Do you think that's how he started the addressing the locker room? Do you think that's how he just...
What's up?
All right, guys. Just saying. You don't see these problems with the Steelers.
All right. Yeah, but,
Mike McCarthy doesn't have any problems.
Well, Has the president held an event in Pittsburgh recently? You don't know.
I'm just saying. You don't see these problems with Mike McCarthy, who's got the same credentials as John Harbaugh.
Okay. Well, I think if people really want to dive into it, I think we understand where the quarterback for the Steelers stands on some thoughts.
That's not the point.
I think that's the point.
The point is if Mike McCarthy's not dealing with having to have his quarterback and then his best defensive player address the team the first day of OTAs. Okay.
I'm just saying, based on what we've seen in the past, I'm guessing if you needed a quarterback in Pittsburgh to introduce the president, I wouldn't be surprised.
I understand.
On his comments.
Listen, I get it. I understand that.
What's up?
But the point is,
and I don't think Aaron Rodgers would start it with "What's up? What's up? What's up?"
The point is that that's not how camp is starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, it is for the New York Football Giants.
Yes. And the story on ESPN.com: New York Giants quarterback Jackson Dart addressed teammates Wednesday during a team meeting to discuss the introduction of President Donald Trump at an event last week in New York. Sources tell ESPN and the NFL Network. Giants leaders such as Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Jameis Winston were all among those who spoke during the meeting. The Giants returned to work on Wednesday after the holiday weekend for organized team activities.
I want to know what Jameis said.
Now that is someone that if you wanted a quarterback from New York to introduce you on stage, that's the guy. Right? Like, if anyone's going to introduce someone, you want Jameis doing it.
Jameis would do an excellent intro. Excellent intro.
The article goes on to say sources said that among the topics discussed were keeping things, quote, internal and not airing frustrations out publicly. As Giants' second-year outside linebacker Abdul Carter went on X, or Twitter as people say, over the weekend, after seeing the video of Dart introducing Trump at the event, and he commented, "Thought this blank was AI. What we doing, man?" And so that's what started it. So the leak to ESPN in this article is that
What's up?
the issue that needed to be addressed was the commenting online over something that took place publicly.
All right.
And you're right. I have yet to see this go down with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You are correct.
Just saying. It's not happening.
You, sir, are correct with that.
Not happening in the Berg.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. So tonight we have Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. 8:30 Eastern. The Thunder lead the series 3 games to 2. They have a chance to go to the finals. The finals won't start until next Wednesday, June the 3rd. The Knicks are already there. They're waiting. But the question and the topic of whether or not the Knicks can win the finals, I think is a little different story, right? That we know there are 2 really good teams in the West. And also, we almost never see a team led by a small guard win a championship. You got to go back some years. We're talking about the Pistons of the late 80s. The last time the best player on a team was a shorter guard, which that's not a knock on Jalen Brunson. It's just the fact of the matter. It's what he is. 6'2". Becky Hammon made comments in the past that you can never win with a guard like that leading your team. Has she changed her tune? We'll hear from Becky Hammon coming up next.
The Thunder beat the Spurs and lead the series 3-2. SGA and crew are a win away from punching their ticket to their second consecutive finals. Will they get it done? Tonight in San Antonio. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Make sure you check out the podcast of Bleck and Abdalla on Apple and Spotify, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show on YouTube. We have the live stream up each and every day, hanging out with you right here on Westwood One Sports. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing today's show. Up next on Westwood One Sports, Jim Rome in the Jim Rome Show in about 16 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. So the Knicks are in the finals. They await the winner of the Western Conference Finals. Game 6 is tonight, Thunder at Spurs, 8:30 Eastern, and the Thunder are up 3-2. The Knicks are waiting, and they've already gotten into the finals, and some of the conversation about the Knicks is, can they win the finals against these two great teams, the Thunder and the Spurs? And then also, when you look at the way that the Knicks are constructed, usually in NBA history, you don't see teams win an NBA championship when their best player is like under 6'6". Small guards usually in NBA history do not win championships. Jalen Brunson is the best player on the New York Knicks. He has been fantastic here in the playoffs. He's a killer down the stretch. He dictates everything offensively for the Knicks, and he is unstoppable. He is awesome to watch. But usually, guys of his stature do not win NBA championships. In league history, you got to go back to the late 80s in the Detroit Pistons when they won back-to-back titles with Isaiah Thomas as the lead player on a championship team to find that exact type of scenario. So, Abdalla, can a lead guard, a lead player of the size of Jalen Brunson win a championship?
Yeah, I think so, but it has nothing to do with just him. It has to do with the entire team. And the entire team is playing like their best basketball right now. Like, look at how well Karl Anthony Towns is playing right now. Look at how well, when he's healthy out there, OG Anunoby's playing right now. Look at how well, Shamit's playing right now. Like, all these guys are playing their best basketball at the right time. And I think it also has to do with which team they get. If the Thunder end up winning this either tonight or on Saturday in 7 games, and AJ Mitchell can't play, and Jalen Williams can't play in some of these games, the Knicks absolutely have a chance. And yes, Jalen Brunson is their best player, and he might lead in scoring some nights and all that kind of stuff. But it also has to do with, we've talked about how they're a deep team and they're a good team, and this isn't just a superstar-led team that's an assortment of, stars put together. This is a deep team that was built together, and it's not going to be one of these super teams that was just cobbled together in one offseason. So that's why. Yeah, it has a lot to do with Jalen Brunson. And yes, the best player is a short guy. But at the same time, they're all playing their best basketball at the same time. And I think that it also has to do with which team they face and the amount of injuries the Thunder have to deal with, and also the inexperience of both teams, should it be the Spurs and the Knicks.
I'm guessing if we broke down, if we had a chart on the amount of championships won based on best player and their height, I'm guessing it is balanced way in favor of those who are taller, right? Like, if you go through the history of the NBA, we're talking about Bill Russell with the Celtics. We're talking about, you could debate the Lakers of the 80s, Magic or Kareem. Kareem, obviously, he won the championship with the Bucks. So, extremely tall player winning multiple championships. Modern days, Shaquille O'Neal got championships. Tim Duncan got championships. So, it definitely is balanced through league history. The teams with the best big men have won the most titles. Now, in recent times, and even back to the, 80s or 90s, you're talking about Michael Jordan for the Chicago Bulls. You're talking at times with the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, mid-sized player. He's not the tallest on the team, not the shortest on, right? I just think the overall perception of it is balanced towards taller players winning. Becky Hammon in 2023, she was speaking to the media. She's the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces. She had this to say about trying to win a championship with a small player like Jalen Brunson.
If your best player is small, you're not winning. John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, you could go down the list.
So that was Becky Hammon in 2023. She was asked this week after the Knicks made the finals, does she still stand by those comments about the Knicks now in the finals in this current space right now? Here's Becky Hammon.
You're taking a little bit of grief from what you said about Jalen Brunson.
You are. I'm not big in that.
I never say. Hey,
exactly. That's why I'm saying.
No, I mean,
words.
I speak from experience, and I never. Allen Iverson got MVP, and he lost in the finals, and I think the two best teams are probably in the West. But I'm up for being proven wrong. And that's the other thing is I think Jalen Brunson's a hell of a player, hell of a player. I'm speaking historically on the NBA. With what I said, I don't know why that's being brought. Like why everybody's so stuck on that. I said it 2 years ago. I stand by it.
I'm letting you clear the air.
There's no air to be cleared. I said what I said. He proves me wrong. He proves me wrong. I mean, I good for him. But I do think the two best teams are in the West.
So there you go. There's Becky Hammon. She stands by what she said. And yeah, I think if you look through the history of the league, like Raj is sending us all of the winners for the NBA Finals MVP. Obviously, I forgot to mention Steph Curry. He's 6'2". Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's short. He's won titles. Outside of Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, you really don't find players winning the MVP of the NBA Finals that are shorter than 6'4", which is Dwayne Wade. Like that's it. Everyone else is, you're talking 6'6", 6'7", 6'9", 7 foot. That's usually how it goes.
Mm-hmm. And look, he might not win Finals MVP. Karl Anthony Towns could win Finals MVP. Like, he's going to be their best player, but like odds are he's going to if they end up winning.
I think the conversation is more about
who's their best player.
Building a title team around a shorter player, which doesn't typically happen.
I think the longer this series goes, the better of a chance that they have. If the Spurs win tonight, that gives them a much better chance. Teams will go in a little bit more banged up. I know that regardless, both teams are going to have X amount of rest going in because for some reason, even if this does go 7 games, the NBA is giving 4 days off in between these games.
Game 1 is set. When the season starts, game 1 is set a set date. It's not that they're not giving them rest now.
I understand that.
They determine when game 7 will be and work backwards from that point.
I know. I understand. I understand that. I get it.
To your point about being healthy, the Spurs are healthy going into tonight's game.
Yeah, they are.
On the injury report that was released about 10 minutes ago on the NBA's website, this is what was submitted from the Thunder. We know that A.J. Mitchell is out. Jalen Williams is questionable for tonight with the left hamstring injury. So, outside of Jalen Williams, for the most part, the Thunder are pretty much healthy as well heading into this game. So the amount of time, the extra 4 days to get to Wednesday of next week when the finals start, I think both teams are going to be pretty healthy unless something happens here in the next 2 games between the Thunder and the Spurs. So tonight, Game 6, Thunder and Spurs, 8:30 Eastern, NBC television. This is it. Wembanyama didn't speak to the media after Game 5. He had a poor game. He also may or may not have put in a hit on Thunder players as he was leaving the court, whispering to Bismack Biyombo, go take them out. I don't know what was said. It looked suspicious because then on the other end of the floor, you had double hard fouls from Biyombo and Mason Plumlee at the end of the game. Plumlee, by the way, the league upgraded his foul to a flagrant 1 yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So a little chippiness towards the end of Game 5. These teams don't like each other. Wembanyama is the face of the league. And if he wants to be that next great player that we talk about in league history, you show up tonight at home. You have a great game tonight. You force Game 7 on Saturday night in Oklahoma City.
That's exactly how I started the show today, is saying that if this is the guy you want to be, if this is how you started the series, making a point to watch SGA get his MVP trophy, and then after the game, make it a point to answer the questions when it was asked of you when you were watching it. Did you make it a point to say, I'm going to go out and have a great game because I wanted that trophy? And you were like, yeah, everything that you said. This is a night where you show up and you force a Game 7. And you're at home. You're going to get the home whistles. You've got the home crowd. Everything is in your favor. Your team is fully healthy. We don't know if Jalen Williams is going to play, but all the Spurs are healthy. Everything is in the Spurs' favor. So this is a night where, in his mind, he's the MVP. He's already the Defensive Player of the Year. you go out and you have a game. And that's what he needs to do.
And if you're a Spurs fan heading to the game tonight, boy, do you have to go after SGA. The fact that Underdog Sports came up with a promo joke of an unethical basketball game where SGA, if you try and touch him, it's a board game that they made up. It's a fake thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's a game of operation, essentially. And any part of SGA's body you touch, it's a foul. And that SGA's team is suing, or they sent a cease and desist letter to Underdog Sports. The next step would be to sue them, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that he is doing that is so soft.
Yeah.
And it clearly bothers him that the conversation around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is about him flopping on the floor constantly.
I'm just saying that at Target, operation games are $19.99 if you wanted to, go get them.
Well, I think the noise that the board game makes when you in the stadium, they should just be playing that constantly tonight.
Yeah.
Anytime he's touched, they should just play that noise. Game 6 is tonight, Thunder and Spurs. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.